What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I've been reading a lot of you guys' comments and I want to answer a bunch of your questions. So today, here's what we're going to do. I want to answer questions on not only the previous $1,400 stimulus checks, but also the possibility of an additional stimulus check coming very soon. Also want to address the infrastructure update, possibility of new payments, and the unemployment issues, because there's a lot of stuff currently happening at this time, and I want to try to break it all down as easily as possible. So here's what we know. First, the second and the third stimulus checks actually did wonders for the American people. There are a lot of reports that are coming out saying that they help people get back on track, put them back on their feet, help them pay for some car payments that were late, help them pay for back rent, help them pay for medications that are essential to their daily lives. All these things. It's helped so many people. It also dropped the poverty rate, and it decreased the amount of Americans that were facing food insecurities. So what we are hearing right now is that there are lawmakers that are seeing all of this new information. They're getting all this new information from all these different organizations, and they're trying to consume that. They're trying to take it all in. Okay, and try to figure out what is the best way to provide for the American people moving forward. We know there's going to be additional talks on a fourth stimulus check. We don't know how much it might be. Could it be $2,000? Yes. Could it be $600? Yes. Could it be $1,000 or $1,200? Possibly. But what we do know is that there's other relief out there that's currently still being administered to the American people. This relief is what lawmakers are saying is the priority. We have to figure out a way to not only continue these additional payments, but continue them in a way that it actually provides for the American people in the most efficient way possible. So we understand, and I know this, you probably know this as well, a stimulus check is not the best use of money because it gives people that do not need it the money. And so to give a stimulus check to somebody that is hurting, somebody that doesn't have payments or any income coming in, that is on Social Security and their income is just so low, or somebody that has other issues going on, those are the people that need the money. Not somebody that makes $200,000 and has a handful of kids. Do they need an extra $1,400? Probably not. Would they like it so they can go and stick it in the stock market or in Dogecoin or Bitcoin or Ethereum? Yeah, probably. But do they need it? No. So what we're hearing is lawmakers are pushing for an extension of the relief packages that are already there. For instance, remember I mentioned that the second and the third stimulus checks actually decreased the amount of Americans that were food insecure. Well, lawmakers are actually wanting to extend the nutrition assistance boost of 15%. They want to extend that permanently. They want to push it instead of just going back to 100%. Let's give 115% of our maximum benefit. Let's make that a permanent fixture, because some reports indicate that even when people get SNAP benefits, some children are still food insecure. So this is important, okay? Because not only do they want to make that permanent 15% boost, they also want to expand universal free meals to school-age children and give summertime meals as well. And this is big, because what we know is that for the longest time, children would not receive any meals over the summer. They wouldn't get any meals over the summer. They'd get their free and reduced meals during school, but they wouldn't get it over the summer, mainly because some schools did provide free meals during the summer. However, you had to physically go to the school and pick it up. The issue with that is people work, parents work. So how do they take their school-age child, let's say they're 8 and 9, how do they take them to a school? Do they get off work and go to school to go pick up a free lunch when it essentially would be the same thing as if they stayed at work and just used that money to pay for food? So it just doesn't make sense. But now lawmakers are saying, no, we need to provide more. We also know this is also going to include going along with the expansion of the child tax credit, which we know there's proposals, there's plans out there for anywhere between $3,000 per year for a child to all the way up to $4,500 per year for a child. The thing that we're kind of setting on right now is it's going to be anywhere between $3,600 and $4,200. There's different proposals out there. Chances are President Biden is just going to want to expand his own provision, which is $3,000 per year for a child between 6 and 17 and $3,600 per year for any child between the ages of 0 and 5. The $4,200 per year benefit, that's $350 per month, that would actually help some families out. That would actually help out people that are wanting to have children, because this would include 4 months before the child is born that you would receive $350 per month. So it's actually an interesting bill, but we will see what happens there. As far as infrastructure, here's what we know. Republicans are bashing President Biden because they say that he does not know his numbers. President Biden is claiming that this infrastructure package of $2.25 trillion is going to create roughly 16 million jobs. Well, that sounds good, but here's where Republicans are right. President Biden has said it's going to create about 16 million jobs. $2.25 trillion is going to create 16 million jobs. That sounds like that's pretty good. We should do that, right? Here's the issue. Moody's Analytics states that the economy would add 16.3 million jobs with or without the infrastructure package. But here's what you need to understand. With the infrastructure package of $2.25 trillion, the economy would increase by an estimated 2.7 million jobs. So, technically, the infrastructure package that President Biden is proposing for $2.25 trillion is only going to increase the amount of people with jobs by 2.7 million. Okay? So, can you see why Republicans are asking, why should we spend $2.25 trillion on this package when it's only going to create about 2.7 million new jobs? We will see what happens there, but experts are currently wondering why Democrats are really pushing for this $2.25 trillion infrastructure spending bill when Republicans have already given them about $600 billion and say, hey, let's pass this, let's get this done. We got bipartisan support here, let's do this. Because if we do this, then we know Democrats are going to go forward with a budget reconciliation on the rest of the bill. So experts say that Democrats are just trying to push Republicans and make Republicans look bad at this point, because Democrats know they're getting backed into a corner, and very soon they're going to see that they have absolutely no chance. Again, this is coming from experts, not from me. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Experts are saying that they would have no chance of retaining their majority in the House and the Senate during the midterm election in 2022. So it's going to be interesting, but this is currently what we're hearing. This also makes experts wonder what is going to happen with unemployment. What we do know is that many lawmakers want to extend unemployment benefits through 2021, all the way till the end. It's currently going to expire on September 6th. Previously, it was going to expire on August 30th, I believe. But what we do know is that there are now 2 states, South Carolina and Montana, that are going to cancel federal unemployment benefits a couple months early. This is going to happen in June. More states are likely to follow, but as of right now, what I can tell you is that the economy is hurting, and some say that while the economy is hurting, we have to provide for those Americans that currently do not have a job. It is going to be impossible for them to get back on their feet, pay for essentials, and pay for everything that they need if there's no income coming in. So, we know that Democrats want to, especially progressives, want to really push for additional relief. But as of right now, they are not sure exactly how to do that. Is it a stimulus check? Is it expanding and making the 15% boost to nutrition assistance? We know rental assistance has been just atrocious. Trying to get that is difficult. We know unemployment benefits still aren't coming out as quickly as they should. We know people are still missing stimulus checks. There's a lot of money out there that's still missing from stimulus checks. I think there's like 1.2 million people in the United States that have not received a single stimulus check. That they just don't have any information on those people, so the IRS can't send them a payment. That's a lot. That's a lot of money to just be sitting there that is technically tied up, but really it's not being tied up for any use because nobody's using the money. It's just sitting there in an account. So we'll see what happens there. We also know, and this is a big thing, it's been a big thing for the past couple of weeks, that Democrats are really worried about holding on to their majority in both the House and the Senate. Now, and I mentioned this just a minute ago, but the reason why we are seeing a bunch of new ideas for different proposals, different ways to provide new payments is because of this exact thing. Democrats do not want to lose to Republicans. Democrats want to figure out a way to not live through 2008, 2009 again, when they had the majority. They had the majority in the House and the Senate. They had, back then, President Barack Obama, President Biden was vice president at that time, and they end up losing simply because they did not provide for the American people. And this is the exact same situation. President Biden knows how difficult this is going to be, but one thing that we know is that he has to provide more to the American people, whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing. If he doesn't provide more to the American people, they will not vote for him again. Okay? They will not vote Democrat in the midterm election, and that is going to be a big problem. So, here's what we know is going to happen. The child tax credit is going to happen. We're going to start seeing the payments probably in July. Okay, that's going to happen. Chances are it will be extended, possibly 4 years. Additional tax credits are still being discussed, but what we are hearing is that President Biden wants to get rid of the Trump tax cuts. He wants to get rid of some of these tax cuts that former President Donald Trump imposed. Well, what would this ultimately do? Well, it's ultimately going to hurt the low and middle income earners. That is the report that we're getting this afternoon. So, as of right now, hopefully the American people can actually keep more of their money. But what it looks like is what President Biden is considering doing, making some of these tax cuts to some of the former President Donald Trump's programs. What this is going to do is going to negatively impact the low and middle income earners. So that's probably all of us. So we'll see what happens there. Something else we're also hearing today is that the American people if they just had their tax refund checks, then they would be able to get back on their feet and they could survive for a little bit longer on their own. What Republicans are saying, what some Republican lawmakers are currently saying and currently arguing is if states just opened up and if the IRS were to get back to work, everything would be fine. Yes, there might be more people that contract COVID, but a lot of people have been vaccinated. We've figured out how to live through this last year with COVID. People wearing masks, somewhat social distancing, washing our hands, using hand sanitizer and all these different things, right? We figure out ways to live through this. So some Republican lawmakers say, let's just open up. Let's let the IRS get back to work. Let's let the American people finally get their tax refund checks, get their unemployment income tax waiver, get those benefits as well. The IRS can then quickly start getting out the portal and get it open for the child tax credits. And if all these things happened, yes, some people would contract COVID. Chances are people would, end up dying, which isn't great. That's not something we want to see. But that's what Republicans are saying, is that we have to move forward. If we don't move forward and we continue to stay right where we're at, more people are going to die, not because of COVID, but because maybe they don't have any food to eat. Okay? Maybe their medications are not coming. They can't get a delivery truck out to their house to provide them with their medications. They can't go to the doctor because, the doctor's office, there they go, is closed. Or they can't get in because they have to space out their patients so far. And so what they're saying is we need to just open up. That's one argument. The other one is, well, let's not open up. Let's continue to have the government provide for the American people, which they're doing a little bit, but we'll see what happens there. So the trick, though, according to one report, is that we have to get money out to the American people that are actually waiting for it. Again, remember how I just mentioned that there's like 1.1, 1.2 million people still waiting on their stimulus checks? Okay, that's a $1,200 check, a $600 check, and a $1,400 check. $3,200 in stimulus checks just sitting there for millions of people, not even being used. And some are saying, if we can just get the relief out to the American people, get the American people the money that is owed to them, okay, refund checks, stimulus checks, whatever else, right? Then by doing that, it would mean the government would need to do a little bit less. They could do a little bit less, and that would actually provide for the American people. So again, this is just what Republicans are saying, but as of right now, there's arguments to both sides. Some say Democrats have the right idea. Others say, no, Republicans, that's the way we need to go because they did a better job. So I don't know. I don't want to get into the argument of who did a better job, former President Donald Trump or President Biden. But what we know right now is this is the situation we're in. We have to be dealt the cards that we have, and this is currently where we're at. So if you guys have any questions, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. I will go through them again, and I will answer you guys' questions as always. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.